With each and every release of Wizards of the Coast, there is a chance for a massive home run hit that brings the company massive revenue. But you know what else can happen? The singles market of the cards that are not related to that set but do have conjoining ideas can cause a massive secondary market surge in sales, and that's what we're seeing this week in the market. Now in today's video, I'm going to show you some of these cards and explain what's going on and what players think they're onto. MTG finance can be a very tricky thing. At this time of year when you expect to see a slowing sales volume, players' wallet fatigue setting in, let's face it, the world economy is in a crazy place right now. And then players go ahead and buy all these singles and do all this crazy stuff, and it shows you that you don't really know what's going to happen until it's happened. Welcome back, everyone. mtgmoxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. Before we start the video, a reminder that if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notification bells. Help this channel get closer to 20,000 subscribers. We are only 625 subscribers away from reaching the goal and having the 20K party. Thanks again to everyone who's making it happen. It's because of the fans out there, the viewers of this channel, that it's even possible, guys. So thanks again. I appreciate each and every one of you. So what's happening in the market right now? What is happening with MTG Finance? Well, when a new set gets released, when you have something like Doctor Who coming out, in the past, I wouldn't have thought that much about Commander decks coming out. I know when I was looking at the Warhammer 40K last year, it was kind of some good stuff. I like some of the concepts. I love the artwork. And I was kind of like, okay, it's a decent set, a little expensive, but a decent set. But when you look at the crazy stuff that Doctor Who can offer, and how it fits with what some players have been hoping to fit together for literally decades in some cases. Seeing cards of Suspend, Destroy, Creation, Reversal, strange cards we haven't seen since things like the Urza block where things got really powerful. Some of the cards you're going to see, some of the cards that are in these Commander decks for Doctor Who will eventually be taken out of those decks and put into entirely new decks with new creations, and that can lead to totally different things. And players are trying it already. They are trying to bust these cards out and find unique, creative ways to use them. And it shows in this week's top 10. And you'll see what I'm talking about as we go through the video. Whenever a new set comes, there's always a chance for a breakout card or a couple of cards to really spike in value. This allows Wizards of the Coast to have reprint equity later, but also allows players who have bought these cards to be able to utilize them right away and try creative, crazy stuff to make them work, and benefit from the possible chance of selling them if they bought multiple copies or if they got lucky and just bought some stuff cheap off of TCG Player. Crazy stuff can happen. I've seen that part lots of times. But the amount of sales can throw me off, and this is what happened. I had to recount the sales 3 different times because new cards kept popping up with higher sales volumes, so I had to go back and autocorrect and keep counting things over and over, and that's why this video is happening so late at night, and I apologize for that. But now let's get to this top 10. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's enjoy this video together. These sales are crazy. Time Beetle in the number 10 slot, Universes Beyond Doctor Who. Average price tag, 93 cents US. Market price, $3.25 US. $1.61 for the foil, and it's 44 euro to get this card into your house. Total sales this week was 2,592 sales from October 8th to the 13th of 2023. Now, taking a closer look at Time Beetle, this is a 1 blue, 1 generic creature, alien, insect. That's a 1/1. It has Skulk, which means this creature cannot be blocked by creatures with greater power. It also has Parallel Universe. Whenever Time Beetle deals damage to a player, time travel. For each suspended card you own and each permanent you control with a time counter on it, you may add or remove a time counter. Now that's a very interesting card, of course, for Suspend. A lot of people have been looking forward to trying these cards out, but let's go ahead and take a look at number 9 this week. And that is Time Lord Regeneration Universes Beyond Doctor Who. Average price tag is only 47 cents. Market price is $1.55. A foil is 99 cents, and it's 30 euro to get this card into your house, $1 Canadian for this card. So Time Lord Regeneration is kind of an interesting card for me because the possibility of bringing your Time Lord back is kind of cool. It's an instant for 1 blue. And it says, until end of turn, target Time Lord you control gains. When this creature dies, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a Time Lord creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order, which really encourages people to create these 5-color Time Lord decks with all kinds of different Time Lords added in there. It could be a really powerful concept design for later. Players were really buying this card at the beginning here. I think it's going to dwindle down for now, but don't be surprised if a card like this has future uses, as Wizards of the Coast likes to do crossovers like this. Buying 4 for a couple of bucks makes perfect sense to me. It might be something for players who are considering building later to buy into now. Now, the number 8 card this week was a total throwback. Mox Amber had 3,209 sales this week. The average price tag is $28.24 US. The market price is $26.81 US. A foil is $52.79 US. €22.88 to get this card into your house. And here in Canada, you're looking at around $35 for a Mox Amber from 2018's Dominaria. Now, a closer look at this card has it as a 0 casting cost legendary artifact. Tap to add 1 mana of any color among legendary creatures and planeswalkers you control. Now, this card has always been dear and near to my heart, and yeah, you guys know the story of my Mox Ambers. It's all good. We can just skip down and take a look at number 7. But I gotta be honest, guys, total surprise to see this card on the list this week. Now, number 7 is Mox Tantalite, and that's from Modern Horizons. This card has an average price tag of $8.50. The market price is $8.45. A foil is $19.99 US, €5.82 to get this card into your house, and it's around $9 here in Canada. Now, the 3,894 sales is a pretty high, big deal for a card like this. Players are hoping to break that suspend. So let's take a look at what this card is. Now, this card has suspend 3. 0. Rather than cast this card from your hand, pay 0 and exile it with 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a time counter. When the last one is removed, cast it without paying its mana cost, and of course, it can tap for any color mana. The thing that everyone always liked about this card, it is not legendary. You could have 4, which means you could get some busted mana if you could find a way to get those suspend counters off quick enough. Always keep that in mind, that there are a lot of possibilities now with the timey-wimey deck and the cards we're seeing, and the sales are definitely reflecting players' interests in trying to find a way to make this card work. I'm surprised I didn't buy it when it was a little bit cheaper, as the price has kind of steadily gone up like 20-30 cents for the last couple of months, and that's why it's risen from that like $5.80 mark all the way up now to the $8-9 mark. But either way, it's still a very inexpensive card to try to get. Let's go ahead and take a look at the number 6 card this week, and that is River Song, Surge Foil Edition, 4,120 sales this week. Now, the average price and stuff's kind of thrown off here, guys. I'm not going to go too deep into that until I get more information. It's kind of thrown off right now, but let's just say it's having massive sales. When we take a look at River Song, understanding it is a 2/2 legendary creature for 1 red, 1 blue, 1 other. It's a human Time Lord rogue. Meet in reverse. You draw cards from the bottom of your library rather than the top. Spoilers. Whenever an opponent surveils or scries or searches their library, put a +1/+1 counter on River Song. The River Song deals damage to a player equal to its power. That is kind of crazy. I love the idea of the card, but it's really the reverse drawing that has players attached. Don't be surprised if on this week's top 10 that you don't see Soldevi Digger there. The number 5 slot is owned by Timebug. 4,202 sales this week, October 8th to the 13th of 2023. The average price tag is 25 cents. The market price is 23 cents. A foil is $3.10, or it's 14 euro to get this card into your house. Here in Canada, you're still looking at around $1. It's kind of more expensive to buy it here in Canada right now. And if you're taking a look at what this card does, it's a 2 casting cost generic artifact creature insect, and it's a 1/2. But it says, choose target permanent you control or suspended card you own. If that permanent or card has a time counter on it, you may remove a time counter from it or put another time counter on it. This is it's kind of a generic card. Everyone was hoping this thing would be the big one, but you still have to get it out, wait the next turn, and then finally use it. But when we add some of the other cards that are removing suspend counters, this card became a little more valuable. A lot more players want to experiment with it, and that's why the sales are surging as high as they are. In some cases, it's completely sold out, and the wish list for this card, for those who are kind of curious to see how many stores are looking for it, the wish list for this card has about 800 people looking for this card right now. It's kind of interesting to see how many sales we're going to see next week. Let's drop down now and take a look at the number 4 card, and that is the 10th Doctor. Universes Beyond Doctor Who with 4,320 sales this week. Now, the 10th Doctor. This thing is a 1 blue, 1 red, 3 generic, legendary creature, Time Lord Doctor. This card has all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're all related to using, that's right, suspend. Whenever you attack, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card. Put 3 time counters on it. If it doesn't have suspend, it gains suspend. Now you see why players are trying to find ways to get those suspend counters removed, because this is going to be a very powerful card. Timey-wimey, 7, time travel 3 times. Activate only as a sorcery, which means, of course, for each suspend counter, you get to remove basically 3 counters. But adding this in with the time bug, with all these other cards we're seeing, there's a real potential, maybe not right away, but in the next few years, for somebody to really come up with some really creative, inventive deck that uses a lot of the cards we've seen, and it's going to be great to play against. I myself am very excited to play tonight after this is all done. I guess it's going to be, 2 in the morning? Me and my buddies are finally going to get to this game and see how we do, and of course, I'm playing Timey-Wimey. Let's go ahead and take a look at the number 3 card this week, and that is Spellbook Vendor from Wilds of Eldraine. 4,390 sales this week. Average price is 50 cents. The market price is 43 cents. A foil is 50 cents, and it's 66 euro to get this card into your house. Now, upon closer inspection of this card, it's a 2/2 for 1 white, 1 generic, and it's a human peasant with vigilance. At the beginning of combat, on your turn, you may pay 1. When you do, create a sorcerer role token attached to a creature you control. Kind of a okay card, but it's having a lot of sales, guys. So if you know what's going on with it, just share the info. Drop that in the comment section. The number 2 card this week is Sleight of Hand, which is an old school card. It's been around for years now. Wilds of Eldraine, 5,210 sales this week. Average price tag is 22 cents. The market price is 16 cents. A foil is 25 cents. And it's 15 euro to get this card into your hand. Now, Sleight of Hand is a sorcery for 1 blue. It says, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the other on the bottom of your library. Now, it's going to be very interesting, because imagine using this card with River Song. It's going to be kind of fun, right? You get to put one on top, one on the bottom, which means you draw it the next turn. It's going to be hilarious. That's why cards like this are seeing so many sales, guys. It's awesome. It's going to be very fun to see what people come up with. I'm kind of really curious myself now. But you've waited long enough. Let's drop down to the number 1 card. Davros, the Dalek Creator. Universes Beyond with 6,539 sales. Now, before I go on with this card, I want to explain to you guys, I did run out of time. Okay, get it, time. I know, Time Lords, I get it. But it's kind of a funny joke. I'm sitting here, I'm really tired. I'm looking at this, I'm going, I couldn't count any higher. There were still quite a few sales, guys, but this is as high as I got. I can't inflate them beyond this because I can't actually count it. I think I would have reached around 9,000 if I had kept counting. So just for those who are interested and made it this far in the video, I had to stop counting because I was falling asleep at the wheel. All right, the Dalek Creator is 1 red, 1 black, 1 blue, 1 generic. It's a 3/4 with Menace. But at the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with Menace. If an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn, then each opponent who lost 3 or more life this turn faces a villainous choice. You draw a card, or that player discards a card. This is going to be a crazy fun card for people to play with. I already know lots of my friends are looking forward to it, so it's kind of crazy. All right, let's wrap this up. Well, there you have it, everyone. That is your top 10 this week. And as you can see, Lord of the Rings was finally knocked off the list this week. Wilds of Eldraine is barely hanging in there. Some crazy cards made it onto the list that have not been here in a very long time. And of course, Doctor Who looks like it rules the board right now. I'll be curious to see what happens next week. If you enjoyed today's video, I look forward to reading your comments in the comments section. Of course, we have the reserve list top 10 tomorrow, as well as the live stream, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. If you happen to be shopping for any of these cards on TCG Player, don't forget that I have an affiliate link in the bottom area of my videos, you'll see a little thing that says TCG Player. If you click that link, it'll take you over to TCG Player for your shopping experience, but this channel gets a kickback of 3.5%, which helps me buy cards for the channel. Thanks again, guys, for taking the time to do that each time you go shopping on TCG Player. It really helps the channel out. And of course, I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow for another video. Have an awesome day today. And of course, a big shout out and thank you to the fantastic patrons of this channel. Because of their continued support, we are able to upload daily content for everyone to enjoy. So thanks again for being here, patrons. You rock. I'll see you guys in the live stream on Sunday. Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. Guys, you made it to the end, and Doctor Who is selling like hotcakes. Can you believe Mox Amber and Mox Tantalite? That stuff blew my mind. I was totally thrown off. When I started getting the information, I'm going, whoa, wait a second. How many sales is that? Check this out. Let me look. It was crazy. I don't think it'll be there again next week as players kind of get settled in, but it was crazy to see it. It was just like, that's a blast from the past. Now, for those who are asking, is the amount of Mox Amber sales more than I own? No. No, it's not. There you go. That's as close as you're going to get. Thanks a lot for hanging out, guys. Enjoy the day. I hope you guys are having some fun playing Magic. And always bring a friend to Magic. Drop a boomstick in the comments section for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.